Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome all to today's reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We've been reading from Adi Lila, chapter 13, and we will be beginning our reading from verse 40 of chapter 13 onwards. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. Ratri Divase Krishna Viraha Sfurna Unmadera Cheshta Kare Pralap Vachana. Day and night, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt separation from Krishna. Manifesting symptoms of this separation, he cried and talked very inconsistently like a madman. Verse number 40. Shri Radhara Pralap Yaiche Uddhava Darshane Sai Mata Unmada Pralap Kare Ratri Dine. As Srimati Radharani talked inconsistently when she met Uddhav, so also Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished both day and night such ecstatic talk in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Purport. In this connection, one should refer to Srimati Radharani's soliloquy after meeting Uddhav in Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented a similar picture of such ecstatic imaginary talking, full of jealousy and madness, symptomizing neglect by Krishna. Srimati Radharani criticizing a bumblebee talk just like a madwoman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the last days of his pastimes, exhibited all the symptoms of such ecstasy. In this connection, one should refer to the 4th chapter of the Adi Lila, verses 107 and 108. Verse 42. Vidyapati Jayadeva Chandidasera Gita Aswadena Ramananda Swarupa Sahita. The Lord used to read the books of Vidyapati Jayadev and Chandidas, relishing their songs with his confidential associates like Sri Ramananda Rai and Swarup Damodar Goswami. Purport. Vidyapati was a famous composer of songs about the pastimes of Radha Krishna. He was an inhabitant of Mithila. Born in Brahmana family, it is calculated that he composed his songs during the reign of King Shiva Simha and Queen Lachima Devi in the beginning of the 14th century of the Shak era, almost 100 years before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The 12th generation of Vidyapati's descendants are still living. Vidyapati's songs about the pastimes of Lord Krishna express intense feelings of separation from Krishna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished all those songs in his ecstasy of separation from Krishna. Jayadev was born during the reign of Maharaj Lakshman Sen of Bengal in the 11th or 12th century of the Shaka era. His father was Bhojadev and his mother was Vama Devi. For many years he lived in Navadvipa, then the capital of Bengal. His birthplace was in the Birbhum district in the village Kendu Bilba. In the opinion of some authorities, however, he was born in Orissa, and still others say that he was born in southern India. He passed the last days of his life in Jagannath Puri. One of his famous books in Geet Govinda, which is full of transcendental mellow feelings of separation from Krishna. The gopis felt separation from Krishna before the Rasa dance, as mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Gita Govinda expresses such feelings. There are many commentaries on the Geet Govind by many Vaishnavas. Chandidas was born in the village of Nanur, which is also in the Birbhum district of Bengal. He was born of a Brahmin family, and it is said that he also took birth in the beginning of the 14th century. Shakabda era, it has been suggested that Chandidas and Vidyapati were great friends because the writings of both express the transcendental feelings of separation profusely. The feelings of ecstasy described by Chandidas and Vidyapati were actually exhibited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He relished all those feelings in the role of Srimati Radharani, and his appropriate associates for this purpose were Sri Ramananda Rai and Sri Sarup Damodar Goswami. These intimate associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu helped the Lord very much in the pastimes in which he felt like Radharani. Shri Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur comments in this connection that such feelings of separations as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed from the books of Vidyapati, Chandidas and Jaydev are especially reserved for persons like Sri Ramanand Rai and Swarup Damodar, who were Paramhamsas, men of the topmost perfection because of their advanced spiritual consciousness. Such topics are not to be discussed by ordinary persons imitating the activities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For critical students of mundane poetry and literary men without God consciousness, who are after bodily sense gratification, there is no need to read such a high standard of transcendental literature. Persons who are after sense gratification should not try to imitate Raganuga devotional service. The songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati and Jayadev describe the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mundane reviewers of these songs simply help people in general become debauchees, and this leads only to social scandals and atheism in the world. One should not misunderstand the pastimes of Radha and Krishna to be the activities of a mundane young boy and girl. The mundane sexual activities of young boys and girls are most abominable. Therefore, those who are in bodily consciousness and those who desire sense gratification are forbidden to indulge in discussions of the transcendental pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna. Verse 43. Krishnera viyoge yata prema cheshtita aswadiya purna kaila apna vanchita. In separation from Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished all these ecstatic activities and thus he fulfilled his own desires. Purport. In the beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to taste the feelings Radharani felt upon seeing Krishna. Krishna himself could not understand the ecstatic feelings of Radharani toward him, and therefore he desired to accept the role of Radharani and thereby taste these feelings. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna with the feelings of Radharani. In other words, he is combination of Radha and Krishna. It is therefore said, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. By worshipping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alone, one can relish the loving affairs of Radharani, Radha and Krishna together. One should therefore try to understand Radha Krishna not directly but through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and through his devotees. Srila Narottam Das Thakur therefore says, Rupa Raghunath Pade Haive Akuti Kabe Hama Bhujaba Se Yugala Priti. When shall I develop a mentality of service towards Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami and other devotees of Lord Chaitanya and thus become eligible to understand the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna? Verse 44. Ananta Chaitanya lila kshudra jiva hana ke varnite pare taha vistara kariya. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are unlimited. How much can a small living entity elaborate about those transcendental pastimes? Verse 45. Sutra kari gane yadi apne ananta sahasra vadane tenho nahi paya anta. If Sheshanag Adanta personally were to make the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya into sutras, even with his thousands of mouths, there is no possibility that he could find their limit. Verse 46. Damodar Sarupa Ar Gupta Murari Mukhya Lila Sutre Likhiyache Vichari. Devotees like Shri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta have recorded all the principal pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in the form of notes after deliberate consideration. Verse 47. Say Anusare Likhi Lila Sutra Gana Vistari Varni Achena Taha Dasa Vrindavan. The notes kept by Sri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta are the basis of this book. Following those notes, I write all of the pastimes of Lord. The notes have been described elaborately by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Verse 48. Chaitanya Lilar Vyasa Das Vrindavan Madhur Kariya Lila Karila Rachana. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, the authorized writer of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is as good as Srila Vyasadeva. He has described the pastimes in such a way as to make them sweeter and sweeter. Verse 49. Grantha Vistar Bhaye Chadila Ye Sthana Se Sthane Kichu Kariba Vyakhyana. Being afraid of his books becoming too voluminous, he left some places without with descriptions. I shall try to fill those places as far as possible. Verse 50. Prabhura Lilamrit Teno Kaila Aswadan Tanra Bhukta Shesha Kichu Kariya Sharavana. The transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya have been relished by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I am simply trying to chew the remnants of food left by him. Verse 51. Adi Lila Sutra Likhi Suna Bhakta Gana Sankshepe Likhiye Samayak Na Yaya Likhana. My dear devotees of Lord Chaitanya, let me now write a synopsis of the Adi Lila. I write of these pastimes in brief because it is not possible to describe them in full. Verse 52. Kona Vancha Purna Lagi Vrajendra Kumara Avatirna Haite Mane Karila Vichar. To fulfill a particular desire within his mind, Lord Krishna Vrajendra Kumar decided to descend to this planet after mature contemplation. Verse 53. Age avatarila ye guru parivara sankshepe kahiye kaha na yaya vistar. Lord Krishna therefore first allowed his family of superiors to descend to the earth. I shall try to describe them in brief because it is not possible to describe them fully. So we will continue from verse 54 in our next reading. Thank you all for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.